Hi everyone, my name is Liz and I am coming to you from Austin, Texas. This is the Poppy Library and welcome back to another episode of KnitCast. Thank you so much for joining back here again in my studio space. I wanted to say thank you guys for joining me on my last video where I gave a tour of my space and how it came to be. You guys were so nice, all your comments. And that ranunculus video is blowing up. I didn't expect that. Thank you so much for watching that as well. It's a really fun knit and another one is about to be finished. So more on that later. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It really does mean a lot. And it is... I feel the love. I really feel the love of this community, and it's so nice that you guys join me every week and watch this, and just, it brings joy to you while you're knitting on your Saturday and Sunday morning, and that brings me joy because I do the same thing with other knitcasters or podcasters or whatever you want to call them. So it's just so nice. So thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. I love it so much. So we have quite the update since last we spoke about all of these projects, and I'm happy to report that I have finished my Miss Serena by Caitlin Hunter, and I have knit this again in Knitting for Olive Merino cotton blend in the colorway Piglet, and then also their silk blend. I don't know the colorway, I lost my tag, but it's a pink. It's a pink, and it is absolutely divine. It is my first time, I should probably put this on. It is my first time knitting with a cotton or a natural fiber. This is kind of like a blend, so it's a little different. But my first time knitting with silk as well. And I have a few notes. It was pleasant. Let me put this on. It was a really fun knit. And I did have some questions about it. In the last video, one viewer had asked me, they were going to knit the same kind of knit with pink, and is it do you see pink through any of the stitches? Honestly, you do see it a little bit, but it isn't something that I'm upset about. There is kind of this cable work that's going on right in between each section of color work. And it kind of hides the pink. Where it does get a little iffy is down at the bottom, where you can kind of see a little bit of bleed, where you can see the back carryover, not stitches, but yarn, that's receding behind the neutral color. But it is lovely. And I'll go ahead and everybody's like, show me your knit. I am wearing a skirt, so please excuse. I might just show a picture of it because I took little video of it, which is much better than me standing and showing and telling right at this moment in the studio just because the lighting's weird. But it is really nice. It's nice to actually wear it in the summer and not feel like I'm sweating too much. It is very lightweight. It is very drapey. It is a nice summer knit. I have worn it to work, which it's really comfortable to wear in a work setting as well. I have nothing but great things to say. The only notes that I have is really just, it's a different kind of material, a different kind of medium. Well, no, it's not a different kind of medium. What's the word I'm trying to say? You're not knitting with wool. Again, wool is kind of like elasticy. It has more grit to it. There's more bounce. What's the right word? It's not bounce. Oh, my words. It's been a week, you guys. But it has this kind of like pull to it when you're knitting, and you can grab onto it. You can grip really easily while you're knitting and hold tension really well. So I'm so used to knitting with wool that when I started knitting with like this kind of natural fiber, it kind of slipped through my hands a little bit. It was hard to kind of pull the way I'm used to holding my tension with my knits. And the way that I hold tension, just to give you an example, this is just a work in progress right here, is I will go ahead and loop through this finger, pull it over, and kind of hold this way. while I'm continental knitting. So again, I kind of hold tension with this finger, and then also sometimes I might loop that extra piece of yarn over the pinky to give it kind of an extra tug if I need to hold tension a little bit more. But with the cotton, it was just like it wasn't wrapping around my finger. It was just like falling off. And so I just kind of let it go, to be honest. I just let the process go. I gauged, I knit a swatch for gauge. And so I wasn't worried per se about like if my garment wouldn't fit. So I just kind of like stopped fussing over it and I just did the thing. For the color work, I did use a needle bigger right here than what I knit with my swatch. And so I tend to just hold tension really tight with my color work. So it turned out fine. And then I'll go back to the regular needle for the body and the sleeves. It is a fingering weight yarn, so it did take a while to get through the body. It was kind of like, oh gosh, like I had to put, I think I thought I was going to just fly through it, which it did feel like I was flying through it. But again, it's like a fingering weight yarn, so it can feel like you did a lot of work, but maybe you just got maybe that much done. So it took a while, but I'm happy with it. I wore it to my concert that I went to. I felt really fabulous. I still feel really fabulous. It was a great time. I love it. And it's just a great summer knit. What they say is true about cotton yarns. Yeah, they're light. They're cool. They're cool to the touch. They're just great. I would 10/10 recommend, but also with the caveat that when you're holding tension, it's not going to be the same with cotton versus woolly yarns. Just so you know, just embrace it. Try something new. If you go into it knowing that like it's not going to be the same, that's okay. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, we're back. I have made a lot of progress on my Halibut sweater by Caitlin Hunter, and I'm so thrilled, and it is so fun. I have a trip coming up in a short amount of time, so I gotta get to work on this, and I'm confident that I will finish it by the time that I leave. I'm also not confident that I will be able to wear it because it is still hot. I'm optimistic that where I'm going, I will be cold enough to wear this at night. But if not, who cares? Then I have a great sweater for the winter/fall time when it gets really cold, or what I consider cold. Let's be honest. So here is my progress. Let me take off my, what is it, like a yarn? I gotta remember what that tool is called. A yarn thimble, a knitting thimble. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is what I use for color work. It's one of these doodads, and it holds each yarn. It's because I haven't done a colorwork sweater with 3 yarns before at the same, like you're knitting one row with 3 yarns simultaneously. I haven't advanced to that, or at least I don't think I have. Maybe I did. I feel like, there might be one sweater where I did. But for the most part, it's just 2 yarns. That's as far as I will go per row. And I use this to keep my yarn separate. I hold tension the same way. I will wrap it around my pinky and put it over the yarn over the finger. And then I will use this to separate the yarn. So it doesn't, what's the best way to film? Maybe I'll film a close-up later of what this looks like in a different video. But for today's show and tell, let's just talk about this. So I have a lot of progress. I went ahead and knit the mocked neck part of this sweater, and I'm past, so it's probably going to sit like up here. When I try it on, it sits right about here. And I'm starting the fin of the fish. And it's so fun. It's so fun to see. My favorite thing about doing color work, especially if it's like a top-down yoke situation, is you start to see the reveal of the color work as you're like continuously moving through the chart. And as you go through it, it's just so pleasant because you're seeing what you're seeing on the page just slowly evolve, and it's addicting, and then you just can't stop. You won't stop. And then all of a sudden it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And you're like, I probably should go to bed soon because I got work tomorrow. I don't knit that late, but I have like on the weekends. But I mean, that's what it feels like. Time flies and you just want to get to the next one, the next row, and then the next row. And then you're like, oh my God. So yesterday, I think I was probably right around the tip of the fin. And then I got addicted to seeing progress. And so I just finished the rest of the little fin at the back fin. And it was just so wonderful. One thing I'm noting about this, and I mentioned this in one of my last videos, is that my my second color, this oats color, it's very like, it's not white, but it's an off-white. It's a gray. It's a gray. It's not an off-white. It's a gray. It is a little bit larger than my main color. One is a worsted weight and one is a DK weight. And you can definitely tell when you're knitting it. Like one feels a little heavier than the other. One pulls a little bit more than the other. But I'm really enjoying it because it's making it's just ever so big that it's making the color work pop out just a little more than it would if they were the same weight and same sized yarns. Like, I think it looks really good, and it kind of makes it look a little bit more three-dimensional. And it's not like the color, the contrasting color, that's what we call it. The contrasting color is not so big that it's making the other stitches so small with the main color that you can't see the main color. Sometimes if it's too big, then your main color will look really tiny and you can't see the stitches, but it's just ever so slightly bigger. It's ever so slightly bigger. What are words? What are words, right? Anyway, so there's that. And I'm just so happy with it. I'm so happy with it. Now, I will say that my ranunculus has taken a little bit of a pause because I was waiting for yarn to come in. The yarn came in yesterday, and I'm winding it up, and it's going to be my second knit on the go. I want to finish this knit first, so there's no progress happening there. It is still the yoke. I will wind up my yarn today, and then we're starting on that color work, and then I can't wait to show you what it looks like because I have this idea in my brain. I know it's going to look good no matter what. I'm going to stick with that story. I'm going to stick with that story. It's going to look good no matter what. I'm going to be proud of myself. It is just, it's a very simple like thing that I had for the rest of the body of the ranunculus. So more to come on that. I was able to stop at my local yarn shop called Hill Country Weavers a couple of weeks ago. They had a meet and greet with a local yarn dyer, and it's her company name is Yarn Matter, and this she is a natural yarn dyer, so she uses only natural methods, like, you know, just elements out of nature to dye these yarns. And you can find her at Yarn Matter on Instagram or also at yarnmatter.com. Here's her little, she was just so nice and so sweet. I was in a hurry, so I was just like, I need like a beige, I need a white. And she was just so nice. She just spoke to me about the yarns really quick, and I was able to pick two actually. So I chose her extra pure sock, and it is 100% extra fine merino wool. It's a 4-ply, and it's 437 yarns, 100 grams. So it is sock weight, and I am going to use this for socks. So I'm so excited. It's so soft. It's so soft, and it's just ever so slightly off-white. You can definitely tell, like, extra fine merino wool, like the the softness of it. It's just like, it feels like butter. It really does. And then I was able to pick up another base from her. This is her Suri lace. And this is 65% baby Suri alpaca and 35% silk. It's a 1-ply. 437 yards, 50 grams. It's a lace weight, and this is the marzipan colorway, which is the same as that. The same colorway, but just different base. And it's just super lovely and soft and wonderful and luxurious. And this is going to pair with an upcoming project that I have for the winter. And I also got one more. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd it go? Here it is. I also got one more yarn. Now, if you have been watching YouTube and you haven't seen a Woolen Vine podcast, you're missing out. I have watched her podcast since I started. She's one of the people that taught me how to knit. Alongside with the grocery girls, and just listening to her projects. And so I've had it on my list to get her yarn. It always sells out. And I always somehow only know about it like days after. And I am signed up for her emails. I'm just really bad at like scheduling it in. I'm a really bad customer when it comes to email marketing. Like I don't know what it is about emails. I just won't check it. My personal email, forget about it. Anyway, I have been wanting to get one of her yarns, and I just always seem to miss out, but I didn't miss out this time. I actually wanted to get more quantities of this color right here, which it's called, I think it's Phantasm is the base. Phantasm is the base. And Moray is the colorway. And it's 74% baby Suri alpaca, 26% silk, 328 yards, and 50 grams. And lovely. Kristen is the best. It is so nice. It's so soft. And it's going to look really good with something I will be making later. I was sad. I did put quantity 4 in my cart, and then I don't know what happened. I thought about it for a second. I don't know what I was doing. I thought about it for a second, and then I looked at something else, and then I came back, updated my cart, and one was available, and I was like, you know what? I'm just taking it. I'm just doing it. It matches my knitting journal. And so that was another reason why I bought it. It was very like nostalgic for me. It matches my knitting journal, my knitting journey. Very symbolic. I'm making it to be embarrassingly too much than it should be. But I am so happy with it. It's such a really like pop of color. I haven't seen her do a color like this either. Or maybe I've missed out, but I knew I had to grab it. It's very gorgeous. 10/10 recommend. I also wanted to try one more yarn while I visited my local yarn shop, and I heard about this yarn being on the more affordable side, and so I want to try it with a shawl. In the past, I tried to knit a half and half wrap shawl. I don't want to do that one, but I do want to try another shawl, as you all know about my shawl journey. I want to knit a shawl, and I want it to be bright, because, you know, I'm bright. And I bought Cascade Yarns. Have any of you ever used Cascade Yarns before? I would love to hear your thoughts. It was only $11 to buy this skein. That's why I was like, oh wow. And the color was like a big punch. Look at that. And it's very vibrant. It's beautifully dyed, and I can't wait to work with it. So if you all have an experience with Cascade Yarns, you know, let me know. It says it's machine washable. It says it's machine washable. I don't put my knits in the machine. I don't trust myself. I don't trust my machine, to be honest. I don't trust the water temperature is just going to be just right. You know what I mean? That's scary to me. Do you guys wash your knits too? Be interested to hear that. I'm too scared. Anyone else too scared? Anyway, I'm excited to knit with this. It is 75%, well, it is 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon, so it could be for a sock. I'm just so interested to hear you guys, what if you have experience with this yarn and what you knit with it and how long it lasts. I know that, you know, wool isn't the thing that you would use if you want a garment to last forever, but I want it to last a good while. But either way, I'm going to use it, and I'll let you know what I experience. So, anyway. Well, thanks so much for joining me on this KnitCast episode. It was very quick, very fast. I'm going on my trip, and I do plan to do something up there with yarn. I can't wait to get away in cooler weather and just knit. I don't care if it's, like, even a nice 75. Sure, put me outside. Give me a cup of coffee. Let me knit for about 5 hours. That's what I'm looking forward to. Not looking at emails, closing my computer, just knitting, looking at nature, hearing the waves. Like, I am so excited about that. If you live in the northeast part of the United States on the coast, I am jealous. How can we be friends so I can share your house? That's what I want to know. Anyway, well, until next time, which I feel like I'm about to do a notes from a knitter on my whole, like, Caitlin Hunter experience. I feel like that is a whole episode. I have a lot of knits that I want to re-knit. And I think I'm going to do a story on one of them, which was one of my most favorite sweaters in the entire world. And I can't wait to show that to you. I'm also coming up, because we are going into the fall. One video that I do want to do, and let me know if you want to see it, is I want to do a let's get ready for Rhinebeck / Wool Festival, especially if you're from the South and you're trying to go up north in the fall. I'm going to tell you right now, it was really hard for me to know what I was like walking into in terms of weather, experience. I've never been, and if it's going to be your first time going to Rhinebeck or Rhinebeck, wow, that's my... Is that the Texas coming out? My Rhinebeck. I want to inform people of what to do beforehand, how to plan. Now's a good time to do it. So I think that's going to be my next episode, and another Notes from a Knitter. I'm just so inspired to, like, just chat away these days. So that's something for us to all look forward to, yeah? A new, like, get ready for Rhinebeck, how to get ready, how to plan for your trip, and then another Notes from a Knitter. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining again. I'm just so happy you're here, and I just love knitting, don't you? It's just the best. It really is. So yeah, until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye.